Hi, Mitch Bailey here. Okay, I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I'm going to draw a house in Wrightsoft. I love Wrightsoft. I use it all the time. Russ King with Quick Model 3D, which is great software from what I understand. I'm just not used to it. I haven't used it before, so I don't mess with that one because I've been doing this one for 24 years now. I've been using Wrightsoft, and it's great software. It's great software. But we're going to do a load calculation. I'm going to show you how to draw a house again and how long it takes. We'll see how long it actually takes to do one, but it doesn't take me that long. This is a small house. This is a very small house. So let's get started right away into it so you can see what we need to do on it. So you can see here I have a picture of my drawing from the house. And now on my picture here, you can see I have the rooms. There's dimensions for each of these rooms. This is the kitchen. This is the kitchen, dining room, living room, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, master bedroom, a sink area for the master bath, and then the master bath itself, which is separately, but that's where the register is. And then there's a bathroom here, a walk-in closet, and there's some cabinets and some closets that's in the hallway here. We have return errors, we have our registers, a garage. So let's get started. So I'm going to bring up this job. Now, this isn't the guy's name, but we'll say David Smith. And the address is El Verano Way, 54 El Verano Way. It's in Merced. This isn't his real phone number or his real email. But you can see here, I've got all my information. Now, I like, when I'm doing one of these, I like putting in their first names when I do over here for the job number. I'll just put David Smith, DS, the date, 11/29/24, the date I'm doing it, and that's how I do it. This house faces, the front faces north. It is a 3-bedroom. I put a couple of notes in here. It's 1,313 square feet, 2002 single-story slab floor. The house is located in Merced. So first thing I'm going to do is go in. I put all this information in. I enter it all in, and then I'm going to go down here to my location, and I'm going to go to the weather location. It's going to be Merced. So I go down here and I scroll down until I find Merced, and I'm going to use ASHRAE, of course the USA, and I use California. And then I'm going to set it to 2%, and I like for the heating, because this is a heat pump and I want to make sure they have enough heat. If I go with the 99%, it's 32 degrees, but if I go with the 99.6, it's 30 degrees. So I like going 30 degrees, not the 26, that's too low. That's the mean extreme, that's how low it can get in that area. So just okay, put that in there. The rest of it I don't need to mess with. So we're all set on this house. Now then, for that part, now I have to go in and I'm going to pull up the my drawing plan, and this is your drawing. So it says right draw right here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We don't need to be out that far. So let's see till I see grid lines, and I'm going to back it off just a little bit, and I'm going to move this down a little bit so I have room. So let's go back and look at our house. So the house, let's look at the attic first. So if you look at our pictures, I have a picture of the attic, and you can see the stake. Here the stake, it's right at R38, and it's higher in most levels, but it's kind of up and down. It is undulating, so we're going to call it R38 in this attic. So R38. So I'm going to click on the ceiling insulations, R38. It's under an asphalt roof. So asphalt, it is dark shingles. There's no roof insulation. It is a vented attic, and it has 1/2-inch gypsum board. So I've got all my buttons, buttons pushed in here, so it's ready to go. So the ceiling's all set up. Now then, we're going to look at the floor. It's a slab floor, so it's light dry. In this area, there's no edge insulation. There's no slab insulation. They do in back east and stuff, but not around here. And it's an 80% carpet, 20% bare floors in the house, and it's on grade. That's basically it. So just boom, we're good there. I'm going to now look at my glazing. Now this house has low E windows. The house was 2002, and low E was being put in homes back then. I checked it with my meter, and it did have low E. How much of a coating, I don't know. So we're just going to use the defaults for it. So clear, low E. It's vinyl windows. They're operable. Has a 1/2-inch gap and a 1/4 inch for the glass. And then click OK on that. Now my wall. Now these could have been R15 walls at the time. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to put it to R13. So I've come over here, And on the insulation, the cavity insulation, I made it R13 on the wall. I don't know if it has any sheathing. Probably not. It is a stucco wall. It does have 1/2 inch gypsum board. It is 16-inch on center and it's 2x4. So we do know that kind of stuff. So we're just going to leave it like that. And then finally on the door, it was a metal door that she had, and it was fiberglass, had fiberglass in it, so it was insulated. So fiberglass core, metal door. Now we're ready to draw the house, except for one thing. I have to go over here to my right J toolbar, and I'm going to click on it, and it'll bring up this the load preferences section right here, and I'm going to set those. Now this is air for the heating, air for the cooling. Okay, so it's not hydronics or anything. Also, I'm going to look at the ductwork. So the ductwork is R4. It's in a vented attic. All these are. It is average on the insulation, and then R4 for the supplies, and then the return. It's the same thing. Just click OK. We're good there. Now the ceiling height. The ceiling height in this house is 9 feet. Okay, I have it set to 9. Now why do I have it set to 9? Now let's go back to the picture real quick of this house. This is a scissor truss house. Basically, there's a truss that goes this way and a truss goes this way, where the truss runs all the way, but it meets in the middle here, and it's 10 foot at the peak, and at the eaves or at the plate line, it's 8 foot. So I have a ceiling that's pitched like this. Now there's an attic above it, so there's attic and the roof comes down. It's got what they call scissor trusses. These scissor trusses allow them to spray insulation in there, so it's got a gap in there. Now, because of this, I have more volume. Its plate level is 8 foot perimeter of the house, and several rooms like this kitchen is at 8 foot ceiling. So is this bathroom, this part of the bathroom, this closet, this hallway is all 8 foot ceiling, and so is this bathroom here. The rest of the rooms all have cathedral ceilings in them. That's, like I said, it meets at the center. This house is 24 feet deep, and right down the center is where the trusses meet. And then they just frame down for all these 8 foot ceilings. Okay, so I don't want to make it 8 foot, and we don't want to use, the one thing we don't want to use is we don't like to go, let's go back to the drawing here, and let's say we got a room, and we're draw us a room real quick. So here's a room, and that room, let's say I'm going to put a ceiling on it. It's like, oh, okay, I've got a ceiling. Well, you realize that when I draw this ceiling on here, it's giving me these different shapes. Now, I don't need to do that because it's just the attic above. I got a regular attic with a ceiling. We don't need to do this. What do I do to compensate for that? And I'm just going to push cancel, because the way the trusses are with the scissor truss, we have the attic above. All I need to do is add for this volume here. And since this is 12 foot long and 2 foot tall here, on this cross section of the truss, and then the truss goes back down the same way over here, I just need to add for this volume. So what does that mean? Well, half of that is, this is 2 foot, I just make it 9 feet. So I'm just going to make the whole ceiling 9 feet. Now you might say, well, what about the 8 foot ceilings, Mitch? It's not going to matter a lot. You're not going to see a huge difference in your load calculus. It's not going to change. It's not going to jump up a ton. It's not going to drop down a half ton. It's going to stay pretty close to the same. You may be a few hundred BTUs one way or the other. It's not going to change your load calculation enough to make it really matter. So I don't worry about that. Worry about the big stuff. Don't worry about the small stuff. They'll take care of itself in this kind of situation. So let's get started. So my first room I'm going to draw is this dining room here, which is 10 by 12. It's 12 feet this way and 10 foot that way. So I'm going to go back to my drawing here, and I've already got a room started. So let's just stretch it to 10 foot by 12 foot. So we know we're 12 foot. I got to grab it. 12 foot tall and 10 foot wide. So I'm going to go 10 foot and 12 foot. Boom, that room's done. This is our dining room. Now I like to draw my whole house out completely before I move on to the windows and start doing people and things like in the structure. So let's draw the rest of the house. This only take a second. So the next room, well, this is 12 foot to here, and then it runs over, and it's 20 feet. I've got it written down here. It's 20 feet, and each of these squares are 2 feet. When I draw these, I draw 2 feet, and then I'll just usually round up. So let's say it was 19 feet 8 inches. I made it 20 feet. I'm not going to round down typically. I'll always just round up when I do it. Okay, so 12 by 20, and it works out perfectly. So 12 by 20. So I got to draw another room here. 12 by 20. So come up 12, come across 20, and 12 is right there, and 20 is right there. Boom, done. It's already locked in. Again, these are all 9-foot ceiling heights. Now, what's my next one? So my next one is we've got a room here that's 9 by 12 feet. 12 feet here, and then there's a closet, and 9 feet this way. So I'm just going to draw another room. Just click on it, right or left click on it, grab my room, and it's 9 by 12. So just come straight across till I'm at 9 feet. Let's see, I'm 9 feet this way. Was I 9 feet? No, I was 12 feet this way. Oh, geez, I got to go back and look. Hang on a second. So let's see. So it's 12 feet long, 9 feet tall. Sorry, 12 feet long, 9 feet tall. So 12 feet by 9 feet. So I'm going to change this. I'm just going to grab my corner grab part here, move it out so it's 9 feet, and then just take it to 12. Boom, we're done. So that room's complete. Now there is a closet over here, and let's take a look at what the closet is. So the closet is, so this is 2, 4, 5 feet by 2 feet, so 5 by 2. So I'm just going to come over here and draw 5 by 2 for the closet. And by the way, the closet's got 8-foot ceiling in it too. It's not cathedral in the closet. So that's 2 feet right there by 5 feet. That's done. What do we have on this one? Let's see. We got 12 foot. So we have this hallway, and this hallway goes all the way down to the corner here. And we know it's 12 feet across here because this is that center line, again, where the trusses are. So this is 3 foot, again, 2 foot, and then half of it's 3 foot. So 3-foot hallway goes down. So I just need a 3 by 12 room, and I'm just going to put it right next to this one, 3 by 12. And that's done. Now then, let's take a look at the next room. So my next room is, well, we have this little spacer. This right here is for a water heater. The water heater's in the garage, and they've got a little alcove that it sets in. So it's 3 foot wide by 2 feet deep. So again, I'm just going to come over here and make it 3 by 2. So 3 foot wide, 2 foot deep, and then that's done. Now then, again, let's take a look here. So this room is 10 foot by 11 feet. So 10 by 11, 10 by 11. So just going to grab here and pull it across. So there's my 11 feet, there's my 10. Now the closet, if you look at it, the closet is just goes all the way to the corner. So we're just going to make the closet. So the closet's 2 foot deep. We know this is 2 foot. 2 foot deep, come all the way across, and it looks like it's 8 foot long. Let's double check it. We can double check it by looking at the layout. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, so now we just got the master bedroom. So the master bedroom's left to draw here, and we're going to do it. It's 14 foot by 12 feet. So let's minimize this, and we're going to go 14 by 12. So I'm just going to grab this and go 12 feet. That's right there, and 14 feet, which is right there to the corner, and it should line right up. Just double check it, make sure everything's lining up. Yep, that lines up with that hallway. Okay, so we have a sink area in a part of a bathroom, and it's 6 feet, 2, 4, 6. I got 6 foot written down here, and it's 7 feet this way, 2, 4, 6, 7. So let's draw that real quick. So 6 by 7, so 6 up, 7 out. And done. Now the other bathroom was 6 by 6. Let's double check it. So this bathroom is 6 by 6. I'm going to take it, and I've already got my room highlighted, so I'm going to go 6 by 6. And bring it down, 6 by 6. Now I have 2 of these rooms that are exactly the same. The bathroom above it is 6 by 6. It's the same dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to left click it to highlight it, push Control C to copy it, and then Control V, and it pastes it one, and I'm just going to slide this up in there so I don't have to draw it, and I just use the arrow key to move it over. So that's all done. What do we have here? We have a walk-in closet. There's a walk-in closet here, and it's 4 feet by the same length, 7 foot. And then above here are some cabinets, so and some closet area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and grab it, just come up here, and it's 4 feet. That's perfect. Now, I have the rest of this hallway to fill in. So, by the way, in that picture, their laundry area is right here. This is the laundry area. And so we're just going to include this in the hallway. There's no register in this hallway. It's just got the return air. So this is unconditioned space. So I'm just going to fill the rest of this with some boxes here so that we have all this done. And then I'll combine them here in a minute. So we'll combine them all in a minute. Come all the way across. And there's other ways to do it. In fact, I'll show you one other way to do it here, over here. Now, so on this last one. So on the, all we got left is the kitchen. The kitchen, we can just fill in a space with it. It's 11 feet across, 12 feet tall. So let's do the kitchen. Grab it over here, pull it up 12 feet, come across 11 foot. Well, if I can get it to stay. 11 by 12, release, and the kitchen's done. Now, if you want to go through and change these, I'm gonna highlight all the rooms that are 8 foot. But before I do that, let me show you how what I'm going to do is highlight this room because I want to grab this space here and include it in the hallway. So I'm going to go over here to my edit points, click on it, and then I can just click on it, my left click, and drag it over and fill in that space. Now I could do that with the other ones, but I'll show you a quicker method to do that. It's just by drawing some boxes. So we know this, and this are all part of the hallway. So I'm just going to left click it here, hold down the shift key, and then I'm going to click on the room 14 and room 15, and then hit merge rooms up here. And this little icon, it should say merge rooms, but it isn't. This will merge the rooms. Now they're all one room. Now I need to do the same thing to this room because this closet is part of it. So I'm going to hold down the shift key, click on it, and then click on another one, and then on that other room 8, hit that, and they're combined. Same thing here. Click on it, and that's combined. I'm also going to combine these rooms. There's a register in this part of the bathroom, but not in this part, so we're going to include it as one room. So I'm just going to hold down the shift key and click on that, and then hit the merge rooms, and then we're done. So everything's merged that I need to have merged. What's not in here? I don't have this. This is the garage. So let me draw the garage. The garage, let's see if we have enough room. Let me draw up here. Because the garage is 20 by 20. We're going to get pretty close to it. Yeah, we're good. It doesn't matter. Garage doesn't matter because it's not gonna change your load calc at all. But I like to put it in because customers like to see the garage. So we'll just go right there. Actually, right there, it's 20 by 20. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to drag this away from the edge there. Just grab it. I highlighted the whole bit by just dragging with the arrow key, coming over here and clicking on it, and I can drag and highlight the whole thing. Click off of it and it undoes it. Now this one I'm going to combine two. So I'm going to hold down the shift key, click on it, and then merge rooms, and now that little alcove is part of the closet. I do have one thing left to do because the drawing's not complete. Notice I have this pop out right here. So this pop out, it's got 3 foot on the side. I know this little square here would be 2 foot by 2 foot, and then it's 3 foot or 6 foot this way, and then another 2 by 2. So I'll show you how to draw this little pop out. They're easy to draw. Let me go back to the drawing. I'm going to zoom into this room a little bit, and I'm going to make myself a room real quick that's 3 foot by 2 foot long, or 3 foot long by 2 foot tall. So 3 foot by 2 foot. Now that's where the corner of that starts, and so I'm just going to make another room that's 2 by 2 and 2 by 2. Then I'm going to take this room and drag it over and make it 6 foot long. Grab my grab points and drag it over to, now if you don't know where, you can see the dimension right there, right next to room 2, but it also shows it down here. If it doesn't show up there, you can see it down here in the corner, right-hand corner. Now then, it's 6 foot by 2 foot. Now I'm just going to highlight the first room, that one room, hit Control C, and then Control V to paste it, copy and paste, and then put it over here. Now, whoops, let me use the arrow keys to move it. Now I can draw that pop out real quick. I hit the room 2 here. I'll go to my edit points again, and you can see the dot right there. Oops, let me do the edit points one more time. I'm going to grab that little dot, move it up, grab this little dot, move it up, and then I'm just going to get rid of these other rooms. Just delete them. Delete, 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 and now I have my pop outs done. It's very easy to do. It's real simple to do. Okay, now then we've got all this drawn. Everything's drawn now. We need to name the rooms, which and then see whether they have people in them or not, or whether it's occupied or has conditioning. So I'm going to highlight the room, click on my right click, my property bar will come up, and then I'm going to name this garage. And there's going to not included in the calculation. Doesn't affect the loads at all. So it's got no cooling and it's got no heating, and then so it won't calculate it in the load calculation. My hallway is the same. The hall, and we're just going to call it hall, it is going to be included in the calculation, but there's no heating or cooling, so I'm going to take it off, none. Okay, and then let's go to bedroom 1. So bedroom 1. So bedroom 1. Now she is using this, the person is using this as an office. So we're going to go down here to properties. I'm going to click on the loads, number of occupants. I'm going to put a person in there. And then I am going to put living room for this is extra load that's in that space because of the computer and the monitor and everything else, because we've got to account for that stuff. So that's done now. Click on OK. And now then, room 7, it is bedroom 2. So I'm just going to call it bedroom 2. It is not, it's just a bedroom. It's not an office or anything. So we're just going to leave that. I'm not even going to put occupant in it. Down here, I think it's a spare bedroom. She doesn't stay in it at all. Now this is her master bedroom. So again, I'll bring up the property bar, bring it up. We're going to master bedroom, embed. And including calculation and everything else, but I'm going to put one person in it, and she does watch TV in there. She has a TV, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that in, make it like a living room. These other rooms, this master closet, it is not, I'm going to include in the calculation, but it's not air conditioned, so I'm going to put none, none. Okay, now it will include in the calculation, but it's not going to show up as a load, and we'll put a register in there. Now, room 10, which is the master bath, it does have a register. The hall bath has a register, so this is the bath. And then the kitchen, of course. The kitchen, it is got a stove, so we're going to put a kitchen in here, and we're going to use the 1,000. Actually, we'll use the 1,200. Okay, and then I am going to put one person in there. Okay, because if she's in there cooking. I want her to be comfortable. And then the dining room. So dining room, it's got a register, but we don't have to worry about it. And then the living room, I click on it, and we're just going to put one occupant in there. Now somebody say, oh, you have 4 people and you only have 3 bedrooms. It's okay, it's not going to hurt nothing. I just want to count for some of the loads. So I'm going to put living room in there, and then we're done. Okay, so we've done all the rooms. We've got the loads that would go in those rooms. Now I do need to change the ceiling heights. Like I said, the hallway, the bathroom here, the master closet, and this master bath are not, and I highlighted each one holding down the shift key and left clicking it. Now I can go in and change the ceiling height to 8 foot. Now that's perfect. Now the whole house is drawn. I just need to add my windows and my doors and get the orientation right, which it's already pointing north. If we look at this house here, it is pointing north, so it's pointing north. So and this is north. This is Google Maps, and this shows where north is, always up. Okay, unless you rotate it, and this I don't on mine. And so now we need to add in the windows. So let's take a look at our drawing. So our first windows. So these actually supposed to be 1 foot 6 inches, not 1 foot. When I did it, I thought they were 1 foot 6 by 5 foot tall, 1 foot 6 wide, 5 foot tall. 5050, 5040, 5040, 5040, 2030, 4040, and a 5-foot by 7-foot slider. Okay, that's all the windows. So let's start putting them in. So the first one, I'm going to zoom in down here, and I'm just going to click on my window, on my HVAC shapes, drop in the window, change it to 1.5, and it's 5 foot tall, so 5.0. And then, because I got 2 of those, I'm just going to hit Control C, highlight it, Control C, hit Control V, and then just slide one over here. Now this other window, it was a 5050, if you remember correctly, 5050, right there, 5050. Let me grab that window, stick it right there, and just change it here to 5 foot by 5 foot, and we're set there. I do have a door. So I'm going to put the door, front door right there. So I'm going to grab my door, click on it, drop it in, and I'm going to push it a little bit with arrow keys over. It's a 3 foot by 7 foot door, but it's facing the wrong way, so it needs to be bottom right. So I'm going to click on it, bottom right, and then that moves it to the other side. So bedroom, and this should be bedroom 1. I got it. Let me go over and change this to bedroom 1. I don't know why I didn't put 1 on there. That's bedroom 2, yeah. So bedroom 1 has a window, and it is a 5040, if you remember correctly. I got a 5040, 504, and I got 3 of them, one here, and one here. So they're all the same size windows in the bedrooms. So what I need to do is, I'm just going to draw one. I'm just going to draw one, 5040, and 5040. Click off of it, I'm going to click back on it, on the window, and then I'm just going to hit Control C, and Control V, and then I'm just going to drag that window over where I need it and drop it in the other bedroom, and I'm going to hit Control V again, and then I'm going to drag the one down to the master bedroom. So, because there's no reason to, I don't have to draw each one individually. Now, I've got windows left. What windows do I have left? I have the kitchen window, this bathroom window, and this slider right here. So let's go ahead and grab a window. That window was 2 foot by 3 foot, so we'll click on it. 2 foot by 3 foot, so get the size, 2 foot by 3 foot. Okay, now then the other window for that kitchen was 4 foot by 4 foot, and let me click on a window, get it over here. Okay, so 4040. And we'll double check it. I'm probably sure it was 4040. Yeah, 4040, and then a 5070 slider. So we're just going to click on the window over here, put in our slider. It's 5 foot wide, 7 foot tall, and it's a sliding glass door. So I click on the construction type, and I change it to sliding glass door. And wow, we're pretty much done. Now all that's left is we've got to put in our all our ducts, and if we're going to redo the ductwork and do our duct design. So I click on it. So here's the unit on the roof, so I'm going to move it over here. This is about where it's actually at. And if you look at my drawing, there's one here, there's a register over here in this one. There's only one in this living room, one in the kitchen, one in each of these bathrooms, one in the bedrooms, and that's it. So pretty easy, and you can see how they're oriented. So I've already set this up originally. I went into my duct, and I set up my system. This is a package unit, so there's no coil included in it, and I got a 1/2 inch of static that's going to operate, and I put in all this so that if I'm going to do a duct design, it will allow me to do it. And then on my preferences, I changed them all to 4x14, and it's got a 14x25 filter grill currently, even though we're going to make that bigger. We're going to go to 20x25, but the 4x14, so when I preference that ahead of time, so when I go over here, all these registers are 4x14. If I click on it and I hit the right bar, you see they're 14x4s. So I'm going to move this one over here by the wall where it's at. Now you notice it's oriented the wrong way. This is oriented horizontally against the wall. It's not running with the wall. So just go over here to the rotate angle, click on it, and change it to 90, and it'll rotate it automatically for you. So real simple, so it looks better. Now, if a label to move, sometimes we have to move these because they might be in the way, and so like this one, I'm going to just slide it over here. This is where the register is, and it doesn't have to be accurate. The system doesn't take that into account. That's kind of up to you where you put your registers. Of course, that's a really crucial thing. should take the iHacky class, air distribution. You'll learn all about that stuff. Also, our NCI class would be really good. Now over here on this master bath, this one's over here, and it's a 6x8. So if we go back and look, these were 6x8 for these bathrooms, 6x8 registers. So I'm just going to change the dimension here to 6x8x6. So that's 6, and I'm going to do the same thing to this one because it's 8x6. So 8x6, and where they're at, they're okay. But you might want to move, like I want to move this label. So I'm going to highlight the room and then hold down the shift key and then click on the lettering, and it will allow you to grab it and move it around. So left click on it and you'll be able to grab it around. So you can move it out of the way if you need to. This one too, I'm going to move it. So click, and because I'll show you why here in a second. So this register's down here, and it's a 4x14. The dining room register's over here against the wall. If we look at it again, you can see it right here against the wall. So we want to grab it, slide it over, and then I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to go over here and make it 90 degrees, and that's done. But this dining room's lettering is kind of going over the CFM, so I'm going to click on the room, hit the shift key, then click on dine, and then I can move it out of the way. And then finally, I've only got one register in this room here, so I'm going to delete one. And that register is a 6x14, so it's 14x6. I'm going to change that right there. And then the return error is actually in the hallway right here. So, and I'm going to move this to its center. Now you notice something too. I don't know if you noticed, when I click on the return, all the registers are highlighted. There's only one return in the house, and if there were more returns in the house, you could indicate which returns go to which supplies go to which return. So all these supplies go to the same return, so we only have one. But if we had a second return error, it would pick up a couple of them automatically, and you can adjust those. You just link them with a link supply to return registers. It's real easy tool. That'll be another tutorial. So the house is pretty much drawn. The problem was, I always test in the house. When we tested this house, we tested a 260 CFM right there on the supply for the living room, for the bedroom 1, 150, 119 bedroom 2, master bedroom 132, 70 in the master bath, 63 in the hall bath, 147 in the kitchen, 127 in the dining room. So I like to put these in here and to show what the airflow was. Now we're doing a design, so what we're going to do is let's look at our loads right now. Let's take a look at our loads. So let's close the property bar, come up here to your zone information, click on it, and we go down here and we can see that it shows we need 1.7 tons for this house. So what size is currently in this system? Let's take a look. So do I have the label up here? No, I did not pull the label. So let me pull it up here real quick. I'll pull up the label for the equipment. This is up on the roof. So this is the label on the equipment. Let's zoom in on it. So this is a 3-ton unit. It's a little oversized, but now that, got to remember, this was done back in the day, and they tended to oversize equipment. So this is a 1.5 ton is a little too small. 2 ton would be fine. 2.5 ton would be fine. Okay. But with this particular lady, we're going to go with a Bosch system. So she's going to get a variable speed. And so we're going to do a 3 ton because it's going to be running at 30%. 30% of 3 tons is going to be very low. It's 9,000 BTUs basically. So she's going to be less than a ton at start out. If she needs it, it'll ramp up as it needs to because it's 30% of 36,000. So 0.3 times 36,000 equals 10,000 BTUs. So she'll get 10,000 BTUs out of the unit when it first starts, and then if it needs more cooling, it'll ramp up. So sizing it becomes less of an issue, but we do need to pay attention to this. She has 21,000 BTUs for her heating. We have to make sure that the unit will make that. If I put a 2 ton in there, some of these 2 tons might not hit those numbers. So we got to make sure we have to put supplemental heat in. I'd rather her have a slightly oversized heat pump that will ramp up and down in speed so that it's not running 100% all the time. So we're not icing up the coils as quickly. And then when she needs the extra heating, it's there, so she has it. The same thing on the cooling, because we've got a variable speed. We're compensating for a big unit, because our old unit's 100% on, 100% off. This is variable speed. It's going to vary the amount of load that it takes, and it does it all automatically, so it'll keep her bills low, her house comfortable. It should be one happy camper when it's all done. So in this case, we're going to end up with a 3-ton system. But so in this case, though, we look at the load calculation. What's our CFM that it shows on it? So let's go package air source heat pump. Oh, I have it. I have it. Let me push F8 here on our cooling CFM, and let's see what it comes out to. So 751 CFM. So right at 2 tons. It's asking for 2 tons on the cooling side, because we're matching cooling to heating on it. So what I want to do here is we're going to change this to 800 CFM, because we actually measured, if you look at it, let me go back here and take a look and see what we measured on it. So if you look at it, we measured 888 CFM when we measured the airflow with her flow hood. So she's getting 888 CFM, and I didn't calculate, and I usually do this, but we can calculate out. So let's just add up the supply side, because she did have leakage. She had about 12% leakage. So her leakage, actually, let's see what her leakage was. So her leakage was right here. Here's her duct leakage, 179. Oh, we got to add one other thing in here too, I forgot. 179 divided by 3 ton, which is 1200 CFM, equals 14, almost 15% leakage. So she's got 15% leakage. That's pretty high for this small house. So let's take a look. Let's just add up. We're going to add up all the CFMs for all the ducts. So 260 plus 127 plus 147 plus 70 plus 63 plus 132 plus 119 plus 150 equals 1068. So that's the leakage. So she's got leakage on her return side, leakage on her supply side. That's where her leakage is all at. That 179, if we added the 179 CFM back, plus 179, we can see that she'd be right at 1200 CFM. So it's everything tested out like it's supposed to. We know we have leakage. We know the airflow is not so great. Was our static pressure pretty high? It was pretty high on the system, because she was using a pleated filter. So she could get better airflow. We're going to fix all that when we put the new system in, put a bigger return air in, better filter for her so it's not restricting the airflow. So I'm going to plug in 888 CFMs, which we was reading on the return. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit F8, highlight the cooling, and I can plug in my own number, 888, okay, and hit apply. So that's what we measured. So hit OK. Now then, if we go back to the drawing, the CFMs will change slightly. One other thing we need to do is I do need to add in the infiltration, and I think I already added it in, but I just got to double check. So we're going to click on our right J toolbar. This is the infiltration box. Click on it, and yes, I already put it in on this one. I got ahead of myself, and it was 1330 at 50 pascals on the blower door. And yes, we do a blower door on these, because if you're not doing a blower door, you're not getting an accurate reading. So with a blower door at 1330, she's getting, with the volume in her house, she has 8.68 air changes per hour. We like to be below 5, and preferably 2.5. Now when we get to 2.5, we are going to have to add mechanical ventilation. She doesn't need mechanical ventilation. Her house is leaky enough, so it won't be a problem. And so this does it include the load? Does this add to the load? It does slightly, depending on where you live. It can be a lot worse. So if we again go back, let's look at it. We're at 21,920. Going with a 3 ton. It did bump it up a little bit to 1.8 tons. So let's go back to the drawing here, and now I'm going to plug in my CFMs. So this first one was 260. So let's go over here, and I'm going to grab. I like to do this, and I do this for all my jobs. Is I'll grab, and we measure the airflow. I'm going to make me a text box, and in that text box, I'm going to add 260 CFM, 260 CFM, and then I'm going to divide the 260. Just take my calculator and divide 260 divided by 252, and that gives me the percentage. So this is running 103%, So now at 103%, I'm going to highlight it again, bring up my property bar, and then highlight it. And I'm going to change the color of this. That's right on. It's within 10% up or down. It's not 110. It's below 100. Or it's below 110 and above 90. So it's right on. I make it green. Green's good for go. Okay. So let's take a look at this dining room area. So what was the dining room? Dining room was 127, and we were supposed to be 155. So I'm not going to draw another text box. I'm just going to take this one, highlight it, hit Control C, and then hit Control V to paste it, cut and paste. And I'm just going to drag it over and put it under this one. And what did I say it was? 127. So 127. So I change this to 127. And 127 divided by 155. 127 divided by 155 equals 82%. So I'm at 82. Now that's less than 10%. You know, it's less than 90%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab and turn it yellow. So I'm going to change it to yellow. Yellow means, okay, caution, we're a little lower than we want to be. So I'm going to do Control V again and drag one over here for this bedroom. So I'm going to drag it over here for this bedroom. And what was that bedroom? Let's see. That bedroom was 150 CFM. And so we're at 150. And we're actually supposed to be 126. So 150 divided by 126 equals 119%. So we're 119%. That's too much air. So I'm going to change that to blue to like, oh, I'm too much air. So when my crews look at this when they're filled, they can see where they need to put dampers and adjust the system so they can dial in the airflow to the rooms that they need to. All right, so let's take a look at this one down here, the dining room, 151. It's supposed to be 147, or it was 147 is what we measured. Again, I'm just going to hit Control V and then just grab it. And oh, by the way, if you can't see it, it'll click in on the screen so you will see it. Sometimes the property bar will cover it up. So it's 147, and we're at 151. So 151, 147 divided by 151 equals 97%. So 97%. We're green. We don't have to do anything on that one. How about this master bath? Okay, it's at 75. Let's see what we're supposed to be. We measured 70. Wow, okay. So again, highlight the room you want to be in. Hit Control V, and it should drop in another one. So I'm just going to grab it and drag it over. If I can grab it. Sometimes, got to zoom in a little bit sometimes to get a hold of stuff. Grab it. I'm going to bring it over. And we're at 70. 70 divided by 75, and it's going to be green too. So again, 70 divided by 75, and we're at 93%. So 93, working out pretty good. How about this bathroom up here? So again, I'm just going to hit Control V, grab it, and slide it over up here. And then now we're at 3 CFMs. All this room, the master bath, or this bathroom, the hall bath, is in the center of the house. It's insulated all around. There's no outside walls. There's no loads on this room. There's no people in it. That's an ice box. In the summertime, you can hang meat. In the wintertime, it's boiling in there. Gotta get a drink here. Hang on a second. So it's boiling hot in those rooms. 3 CFM. What did we measure? We measured 63, I think it was. Yeah, 63 CFM. So we're going to put 63 in here, 63. We're going to, whoop, too far. We're going to divide that by 3. So 63 divided by 3 times 100, that's for a percentage, we're at 2,100% of what it's supposed to be, 2,100%, okay? Do we need a damper in that room? We can almost shut that register off completely and put a damper in it. It'll be fine. Okay. So just to tell you, this happens all the time. I see this constantly when I do this, and I do this on all of my jobs. Okay. So we got the master bath. or master bedroom, 132. I think this one's going to be a little low. It's supposed to be 168, so we're going to be yellow. So again, Control V, grab it, and just pull it over, and we're at 132. I think I said 132. 132 CFM. 132 divided by 168. 132 divided by 168 equals 79%. I'm going to round up. 79%. Again, it's yellow. Now, I've had rooms where it's only 40% of what it's supposed to be in a room. If it's 40%, I'll change the color to magenta. So I'll come up here and I'll grab and I'll make it magenta so that it tells the people and it tells the customer, this is not good. We need to fix this. So if I find really bad ones, we can fix those things. Okay, so now we've got 2 rooms left to do. The bedroom, oh, we got 1 bedroom left, that's it. So again, Control V, I'm gonna drag it over. And then again, I'm gonna put in my CFM. What was it on this one? It was 119. So we were way over on this one. So this is gonna be blue when I'm done. 119 CFM. And we're at 89 is what it's supposed to be. So 119 divided by 89 equals 134%. So 134%. And we're going to change it to blue. And we're pretty much finished this house. Now, would I do the return error? You can. It's not going to matter because we're going to change all that anyhow. But you can see the problems. We had duct leakage. We had we have rooms that aren't balanced. We have several rooms with too much air. Oh, I got to change this bathroom. Bathroom. I don't have a bigger than a blue, so I guess I can do the dark blue, but you can't see the dark blue. Let me see the dark blue. I don't think you can see the lettering. I have to change the lettering. So let me change the text color. So the text color is going to be white. So yeah, you could do that if you want. Preferably, I just leave it blue. I'll just change it back to blue, our regular blue, and then change that back to black or automatic, and then we're good. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to draw a house, how easy to do the load calcs with it. If there's angles in rooms and stuff, like say this wall was corner to corner here as opposed, I can come in here and I can grab my edit points and I can drag this room over like so, and then I can drag the hallway. And this you see this kind of stuff sometimes. Let me grab the hallway, hit my edit points. And so, you know, making 45-degree walls are really easy to do. So if that room change, I'm just going to hit undo twice to get rid of it. So undo, undo, and then we're back to where we were before. Didn't change anything really. I don't know if the CFMs went up, but if you do make changes, you can come in and do them quickly and easily. Now, if we look at our load calc should be, that's at 1.8 tons, still at 21,920. This is really what I'm looking at is on the heating because this is going to be heat pump, so I want to make sure I got plenty of heat for this person. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to save it. So I'm just going to go in here, File, Save, and you can do, I edit a project, so I'll just go in here, hit Save As, go to the project, and then I'll enter the project name. This one's David Smith, so I'll hit Save, and it asks yes, and I'll just OK. And it's done. Okay, now then, when I go to print this, what we're going to do too is we'll do File, Print, Preview, and then your property bars will come up here. And so I'm going to click on Loads. In this case, we're not multiple orientations aren't there, so I'm going to uncheck those. I'm going to do my drawing. So if I look at my drawing, it says if I hit Preview, and then OK, click OK again, it's going to create the PDF of this thing. Now, a few years back, this messed up and it wouldn't create PDFs. If it did, it made them really small for some reason. They had an update and it screwed it up. So when I do it now, I'll just click Microsoft Print to PDF. I'll just go over here and change it to Microsoft Print to PDF, hit OK, and it'll ask me how I want to save it. So I'll just say David Smith, load calc, and hit Save. And it does it, so I'll have a PDF of this. Easy to use. Wrightsoft's easy to use. You can also try Quick Model 3D I hear it's very easy to use. It's a nice program too. I learned on this, and if you're using Wrightsoft, this is really great software. You need to be doing load calculation. You need to be testing these systems in. You need to be doing something like this so you can show the customer. And then you also tell you where you need to fix things. Got to do a blower door. You need to do a duct leakage test. We did the duct leakage test on the house. And you got to check everything out. How deep is the insulation? That's why we have all these pictures. If you look at them, here's our duct leakage test. Okay. Here's our, we did a true flow grid. Here's our blower door test. This is our infiltration. This is 58 pascals. Here's our duct leakage test, 25 pascals, 179 CFM. This is a picture of the attic insulation. Pictures of the equipment. I have all these pictures. I have, well, let me drag it over. I got a ton of pictures for the job. You take a lot of pictures, then you have them. Okay, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I try to answer them as much as I can. Remember, if you've got a scissor trusses with a ceiling that's vaulted, but there's attic above, you don't need to go in there and draw those ceilings out, each one, because that's just silly. It just count this volume. That's all you need to do, and just make the ceiling as tall as it is, and you can calculate that very quickly, very easily. Okay. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comments section. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.